1957, Golden Jubilee of the TT races. And for the vast crowds of motorcycle enthusiasts who converged on the Isle of Man, the additional thrill of witnessing the first officially recorded lap at an average speed of over 100 miles an hour. The honour of being the first man to do over the ton went to the popular 28-year-old Scot from Glasgow, Bob McIntyre. We asked Bob to come in our camera car for an early morning trip round the course and to try to give us some idea of what it's like to lap the island circuit at this amazing speed. First of all, Bob, what most of us want to know is how on earth are these speeds possible on a 37 3/4 mile circuit, which seems to us to be nothing but 37 3/4 miles of twists and turns?
Yes, although there are many twists and turns in the circuits, we also have sections where one can travel for 2 and 3 miles at a time, very seldom dropping below 100 miles an hour. Due to that, improvements in the circuit over the past few years, development in machines, these speeds are not quite as fantastic as they seem.
Well, that's what you say. But let's take a look at the map and perhaps you'll tell us a bit more about how it's done. For the benefit of those who don't know the TT course, the lap starts at the grandstand here in Douglas and then across to Ballacrane, 7 miles away, up to Kirkmichael and over to the holiday town of Ramsey, 24 miles. The steep climb up the mountain to the bungalow and back to the grandstand, ready to start another lap. Let's suppose it's the start of that record lap.
Starting the lap on Glencutchery Road, passing through the stands at around 140 mile an hour before the descent down Bray Hill. The bottom, where speeds of around 140 mile an hour are reached.
And here's what the spectators see. This next one's you, Bob, coming down the hill to the bottom. Now this is coming away from Bray Hill up the other side.
And now the approach to Quarter Bridge. First gear right-hander taking about 40 miles an hour.
And here's how you look to the spectators.
Accelerating away toward Braddon Bridge. Braddon is a left and right hand corner taken in first or second gear at around 50 mile an hour. Round the left hander, down through the right.
And this is a general view taken from the Kirkbraddon churchyard.
That's John Surtees on the MV, accelerating away towards Union Mills. This is Union Mills, which is a right and left hand bend, taken in second gear, upwards of 70 miles an hour.
And here's what Union Mills looks like.
Dicky Dale and Motoguzzi. And the rider accelerating away towards Glenvine. This is Glenvine here, a very fast section of the course. It's a right-hander. Leads down through Crosby and on towards the climb up before we drop to the Highlander. Highlander is a particularly fast section of the course, taking it over 145 miles an hour. From there on, we lead through Greeba Castle, left and right hand bends, on towards Appledene. From Appledene, go on to Greeba Bridge, which leads on to the very fast left and right hand bends before Ballacrane. The jump and Ballacrane, which is a right hand first gear bend, taking it around 35 miles an hour. From there on, pass through another fast part, Bullock Bridge, and on to Doran's Bend. From Doran's Bend leads us into a very twisty Laurel Bank section. Laurel Bank coming up. Here it is, a right hand corner taking in first gear, which leads us into an exceptionally fast and twisty section called Glen Ellen. Here speeds of between 90 and 100 mile an hour are attained. This is a left hand bend that leads us on to Glen Helen itself, the warning board and bend, accelerating up round Craig Willis Hill onto the 11th milestone. This is a very fast right and left hand bends, taking it round about 100 miles an hour, which leads us on to Hanley's Cottage. Hanley's is a left and right, which is taken in second gear about 75, leading us on to Bigaro Crossroads. This is Bigaro, taken very fast at over 120 mile an hour. The 13th milestone, some more very fast work, leading us on to the Kirkmichael. Kirkmichael is a very narrow village with speeds of over 130 mile an hour attained. We had those part vehicles removed during race day, bringing us on to Birkin's Bend, which is a right and left hand bend, leading on to Ballaugh Bridge. This is Ballaugh Bridge itself, over the bridge and through the village.
We shot one or two riders taking the jump. Do you recognise anyone?
Yes, that's John Surtees on the MV and myself on the Gilera. And on towards the Quarry Bends. This is another fast part of the circuit. Quarry Bends are entered at around 75 and accelerating the whole way through, leading on to Selby Bridge, which is a slow first gear corner, bringing us to Ginger Hall. Ginger Hall, a left-hander, taking it around 65-70 in second gear, brings us down to Kerramoor. Kerramoor onto Glentrammon. Very fast part of the circuit, twisty section leading on to Ramsey. We are coming on to Schoolhouse Corner, Parliament Square itself, leading on to Mayhill. This is Mayhill.
These are some shots of Parliament Square that I took during one of the clubmen's races.
Now we go on to Ramsey Hairpin and the start of the mounted climb. From Ramsey Hairpin we accelerate up towards Waterworks Corner, which is taken in first gear at around 35ish. From Waterworks we again climb on towards the Gooseneck, another slow right hand corner, and then the very fast left hand bends preceding the Guthrie Memorial. These bends are taken at around 100 mile an hour, slowing down to second gear, going through the Guthries at around 60. From then on to the very fast Mountain Mile. This is a very fast part of the circuit which leads on to the Mountain Box, taken in second gear at around 75 miles per hour. Now the Stonebreaker's Hut, another left-hander that takes us to the Veranda, which is really 4 right-hand corners. You can see there's a bit of mist in the mountain. We now come down to the Les Graham Memorial, a left-hander, which leads us to 3 right-hand corners before the bungalow. Bungalow leads us on to Brandywell, another fast left-hand corner before dropping down to Windy Corner, which is a second gear right-hand corner taken around 65-70 mile an hour. And now we come down to the notorious 33rd milestone. This is 2 exceptionally fast left-hand corners taken at well over 120 miles an hour. Down to Kate's Cottage and on towards Craignabar. This is a right-hand bend which precedes the fastest part of the course. Slow down again for Brandish, another second gear left-hand corner. Now on to the slowest part of the course, which is called Governor's Bridge. This is Governor's Bridge. Exit from Governor's Bridge onto the start, the Glencutchery Road. And here we are, the end of the lap.
And here's some pictures we took as you came in at the end of a magnificent ride. John Surtees comes over with congratulations, and let's add ours on a really magnificent achievement, a double TT win and a record lap at 101.12 miles an hour. And now, Bob, you did say you'd like to pass on a few tips for the beginner. the young rider taking the road for the first time.
Well, if I was a beginner again, I think I would start off, if possible, with a small machine. And also, if I could, obtain some lessons through an RAC ACU training scheme. I think this is a good idea. At least one would start off on the right foot.
As well as recommending the RAC ACU training scheme, Bob told us too that he thinks some riders are inclined to go too quickly for the conditions, such as here, where the novice is going much more quickly than the expert. This is Bob taking a right turn. Remember to look round and make sure that it's safe, give a signal, and take up a proper position just left of the road centre. Be extra careful when the road's wet. And when it's icy. And his final tip, watch the overtaking. Look round to make sure that it's safe, give a warning, overtake quickly and get back to your own side. And when you're overtaking, watch out for the mistakes of others, such as car drivers pulling right without warning, doors opening unexpectedly, and pedestrians stepping out from behind parked vehicles. And don't be tempted to overtake when you can't see, such as the brow of a hill or a humpback bridge. Don't attempt to overtake unless you can be perfectly sure of a clear road. Well, thank you, Bob. Congratulations once again, and very best wishes for all your future motorcycling activities. All the best for next season.